Shalom Bethel family. This is a bonus video for this week's email. This past Monday we celebrated Shavuot, and Sunday and Monday, and on Monday we had our Yizkor service. I wanted to share my remarks prior to the Yizkor service, helping to connect us with the memorial service for those we have loved and lost. I think it's notable that we do Yizkor on Shavuot, a celebratory day, a day when we remember the revelation at Sinai. And there is, I'm always reminded now when Shavuot comes of Jewish dating websites. There's a lot of Jewish dating sites, JDate, Frumster, for those who are looking for a little bit more of an orthodox fix-up. But my favorite is called, not that I've ever used it, but I just love the name is so clever, Saw You at Sinai. Right, Saw You at Sinai, because you have to be a little in to know what that's referring to. Right, it refers to this idea, a midrash on Shemot Rabbah. It's a midrash on the Ten Commandments, a rabbinic story about it, that says that every Jewish soul, right, every Jewish prophet was there with Moses on Sinai getting that revelation, and every Jewish soul that ever was and would ever be was also present at Sinai for the revelation. And so, Saw You at Sinai is sort of a way of saying, like, you were there, I was there, we've met before, but it also kind of indicates that that person is a little in the know. So Saw You at Sinai, great website, but I got thinking about this midrash, and it's an intriguing midrash. For the longest time, I thought that the midrash was about theology. Right, so who cares that every soul was at Sinai? 2 million people wasn't enough? There's 2 million people or so at Sinai. Right, we're told 600,000 men of fighting age leave Egypt. Figure there's at least that many women, probably more, because, right, Jewish boys were being thrown into the Nile. So 600,000 or more women, plus all those who were not of fighting age on both genders. So 600,000, 1.2 million, probably at 2 million people, the Torah reports, are at Sinai. And if you go to some right-wing outreach or not right-wing outreach organizations doing Jewish outreach, they'll tell you, like, this is an important point of how we know Judaism is the truest religion, right? Because other religions, maybe they have one guy who goes out into a desert and has a revelation, or one person, but we have 2 million people experience God face to face. Therefore, it's got to be true. I don't find that compelling. But I thought this midrash was in that line, right? Not only were 2 million people there, but additionally, all the Jews who would ever be were there. So what a great witnessing. The problem is, I don't find these arguments compelling, because either you have faith in God or you don't, right? Either you believe the Red Sea parted or you don't. It doesn't matter if they find footprints in the mud. Right? Either you believe Sinai happened or you don't. It doesn't matter if God left God's signature on the rocks. Right? So if the Midrash isn't about faith, if it isn't about connecting us with God per se, what is it about? I think I learned the answer to that question a few weeks ago when I was in Israel. We went to see an organization called Kids for Peace. Kids for Peace, really neat organization. It's grown now. It's a big youth group for Israeli youth and Arab youth in Jerusalem, Palestinian youth, I think some Israeli Arab youth or Jerusalemite Arab youth as well. But they run this great youth group. But it started out at its foundations, it was about bringing these kids together and sending them to summer camp in America. Right? What a crazy idea. Why bring Israelis and Arabs together and send them to summer camp in America? There's lots of organizations that bring kids together, play soccer, they do orchestras together, they have youth groups, all kinds of things. But this one I find so compelling, right? That what makes it such a special project, such a special program, is the nature of nature of summer camp in general. Right? Summer camp is intense. When you share this intense experience together, playing together, living together, eating together, bonding, understanding each other, right? A bond is formed between you that lasts forever. And sure enough, Kids for Peace has made lasting bonds between their participants, despite the pressures of what happens between their communities in Israel. And it occurred to me that's what this midrash is all about as well. The fact that all Jewish souls were at Sinai is not about all Jewish souls being connected to God. I mean, yes, fine, that's a nice idea. But more importantly, it's about all Jewish souls being connected with each other. Because when we share that liminal moments, just like these kids at summer camp, right, overcoming all the odds of their societal pressures to form bonds that last forever, so too, not only does sharing the Sinai experience bond all Jews, but it bonds all Jews across time. Jews who will never meet, Jews whose lives in this world won't overlap, because those bonds that are created by sharing important moments, especially when holiness is brought into the world like it is at Sinai or at this camp where peace is being made between people, those bonds are stronger than death. Those bonds are stronger than time. Those bonds cross history and last forever. And that's true with those we love as well. When we share those important moments in life, those liminal moments in life, we are connected. Even if we can no longer have someone close to us physically together to be connected, just like at Sinai, right? Because we shared those moments of holiness, moments of happiness, laughter, sometimes tears, moments of living and moments of loss, sharing those sacred moments, bringing that holiness into the world, our lives are bonded to those we have lost forever. That is why when we experience a simcha, right, we cry. Right? Sometimes we cry tears of joy, but we also cry tears because we miss the people who aren't there more at those moments. Partly because we wish that they were there, but also partly, I think, because we can feel them close. It was funny, on the way into shul on Monday morning when we were going to have this discussion, our immediate past president, Betsy Karakin, said to me, we had such a nice weekend, all the grandkids were together. I just wish that my parents could have been there to see the family that we've built. I said, it's funny, so she was feeling that sense of regret at their loss, but I think what she was really feeling, what we all really feel in those moments, is in fact the closeness, right? We cry because they're so close at those moments, because they are there at those moments, and that closeness, and mixed with how much we miss them, brings those emotions to the fore. Right? They're especially close at those moments, and also especially close at holidays, which is why we do these Yizkor prayers on holidays in particular. Shavuot tends not to be observed maybe as much as the high holidays, or as Passover, or even as Sukkot, where you might have these strong family remembrances. But Shavuot, we have this moment to remember these bonds, these powerful, powerful bonds that are between us and those we love and have lost because we have shared so much together. And so on Shavuot, as we remember standing at Sinai, the permanent connection of all the Jewish people that happened at that moment, and that permanent connection to that supreme holiness that was brought into the world at that moment, right? The Torah, right? So too, as we do Yizkor, as we do these memorial prayers and we remember those we love, we do so not to mark the absence of the ones we have lost, but in fact to mark their presence, to recognize how they are still in our lives, still influencing us, still part of our celebrations, still part of our guidance as we make decisions and steer our families and ourselves forward in this world. Why? Because we celebrate that connection heart to heart and soul to soul that we form through each other, having brought holiness into this world together in so many shared moments and shared times. We pray that we remember them all for a blessing as we go forward. Amen.